Okay, welcome back everybody to Monday morning, Coffee and Art in the Morning. I'm Dee Dee, got my coffee. If you're watching on YouTube, thanks for watching. It's a live show on Ustream with a live, mostly awake chat. It's a live chat. There's no editing, no compressing, no speeding up. It is just what it is. And so if it comes to a place where I step away from coffee, or you want to see further down the road of what project we're doing, just fast forward. Don't email me. Okay. So I'll show you what I've done so far in Tenderful Enchantments. This is the Klara Markova, and I can go ahead and zoom in a little bit already. Let's click in one. So, yeah, I got ink on me from, what did we do that I got ink on me already? I don't know. Oh my gosh. Yes, you will, Prisma. You will need a grilled cheese with that homemade chicken noodle soup. So this is Tenderful Enchantments, and when I go to color, I'll try to focus as best as I can, because it will flash out with and these pages are off-white. They're a cream color. So the pages we've colored so far are this one, the intro page. Have that one done. And I do have the one marked that I want to color today. We've colored this one. And they are posted. They're posted on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So, and then this one, I did go back in and put the little bubbles or whatever they are, little, floaty things. She has a lot of floaty things. I don't know. Some of them I think they're mushroom spores, but this is an undersea one, so maybe they're bubbles, I don't know. So I just did them purple with like little yellow glows around them, and did not paint the background in this one. And then today I think I would like, oh wait, here's one more. We did this one. We did the fruit bat. Did the fruit bat one for the Halloween, October. So did that one. And today I would like to do this one. I think this is just so cute. The little kid on the bike with the like a little dirigible kind of hot air balloon thing. So I know this book is so cute, isn't it, May? I'll just do a quick little, flip here. I have done a complete flip through. But it is so cute. And it just makes you happy to, do like little fairy tale type story coloring. And this is, this type of book here, these I don't cut the pages out and put them in my binder. The story books that have stories to them like this, or themed like Game of Thrones or whatever like that, I don't take those pages out of the book. And these are hardback books anyway, and they're not cheap, so you're not going to probably tear those out anyway. So, yes, this book is hardcover. Yeah. Klara Markova, Tenderful Enchantments. And I am in her, she has a Facebook group, and so yeah. Pollinated orbs. Yeah, could be, Prisma. All right, so what I'm going to do on this one is I am going to start with the background. So I'm going to paint it. So let me get a piece of wax paper here. Put a piece of wax paper behind the page so I don't glue them together, right? And you can't really break the spine on a hardback, so they're not going to lay perfectly flat because, it's a hardback book. It is happy coloring, isn't it, G? All right, so, he's floating up in he or she, whatever, little kid, floating up on the, hot air balloon type thing. And it looks like it's made like some belt loops and made out of a belt. And this is, I don't know, some kind of fabric blown up. And he's got a little basket with mushroom there and flowers, like not too high up. And then clouds and little ladybugs. So I'm going to paint the background, probably some kind of shade of blue. And let me get a fresh palette thing here. It's had matte medium on it, but I think I got most of it off. Okay, so, and I just use coffee lids for palettes. And now I'm going to decide what kind of color sky I want. Do I want a baby blue? Do I want a turquoise? You know, a teal color? What color sky do I want? Kind of like this color, sweet mint. Or I could go a little darker with like bluegrass green. That might be too green though. Or I could go with just a really light, like baby blue type blue. You know, like this color blue. This is just baby blue. This one probably be more interesting. But, oh, well, you're welcome. Yeah, we try to show a lot of different techniques here. I hope, I'm going to zoom in a little bit, but I hope it's not, y'all let me know. The last video I did last week, when I did, I think, whatever it was, cutting up the pages, it was totally out of focus. I mean, not totally, but it was like really not in focus at all. And I couldn't tell while I was doing the show, but afterward I went, oh my gosh, that is so out of focus. And I guess y'all can't tell either when you're here, but it sure shows up. And there's nothing you can do about it after you recorded it, right? But I'm thinking maybe this color. I don't know. It's one of these two, because I want a light blue sky. I'll go with baby blue. I'll go with blue red because that might be too green. So we'll just go with baby blue. And then I'll probably do like around the clouds, some white, make them fluffier or whatever, you know. So, all right. So I'm going to get out some blue paint. Now when I do backgrounds, I do not add water to the paint. Let me get a brush here. I don't add water to it, and so you can usually, you know, most colors you can get away with one coat. Some, here's a angled brush. Some take like yellow, red, lime green. They're going to take 2 coats on the background. So some take more. Okay, so I'm going to just start. Maybe I should zoom in a little. I'll just have to keep moving my camera. Let's refocus here. Maybe if I put something dark up here. Here we go. How's that looking? Uh-oh, I messed up the light. Hang on, guys. Hang on. I got it too dark now. Because I do have the sun coming through too. Okay. You like the mint color? So then I went with the blue. Okay. The clouds will be white with just some shading. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get in here. And I did wear my old white shirt today, so this is not one that's going to get ruined with paint. So let's see how far we can get today. And then, you know, I'm thinking about also doing an abandoned places episode if we have time. And yeah, get everybody inspired to do something creative today and this week. But I do like acrylic paint. It's just craft paint. I use Americana just because I like the colors and the coverage and everything. I'll get pretty close to this and then I'll get in there with a tinier brush. So let me just kind of get it the big areas here first. with the bigger brush. I could probably get pretty close with this angle brush, but I'm just going to try to get... Oh, thanks, Jen. That's sweet. And I did see that you did, Jen did I've only watched a few minutes of it, Jen, but Jen did a comparison of Prismas and Holbeins. And so if you don't watch Jen Reading with Pugs, she did that video, live show. And I think she's a Holbein gal. Just saying. I don't think anything's going to get Jen off of Holbeins. I call them Holbeins. Holbeins, Loomies. But anyway, I think Jen is dead set on her Holbeins, no matter what. Just saying. I'm gonna just test. I'm gonna just try to pick both, not Holbeins, Polys. I'm gonna do Polys and Prismas today. And I'm gonna just see if I pick up one color and another color and if they blend or mix. So one's a wax and one's a oil. I'm just gonna play with both of them. They're your new love, Beth? Okay. Oh, no, I'm sorry, Jen said that. They're your new love. So I'm just going to play with Prismas and Polys today and like intermix them. Even though one's oil based, one's wax based, I'm just going to see what happens if I just like use both. Some colors may work, some may not. This paper is pretty soft, so it may not be the best paper to do that, on. But we're just going to play with both. This is not a fancy brush. These brushes are craft brushes that I buy at Michael's. I think this is Craft Smart brand. They're probably 20 brushes for $5. Something like that. I do not buy expensive brushes I have expensive brushes when I, from back in oil painting and some nice watercolor brushes. I do not use them for my acrylic craft paints. I don't use the expensive brushes. These are just, and they don't last forever. They'll last for a few projects, depending on how, well you rinse them out and take care of them. But they're fine for color books. Hey, Elise. Anybody else I missed? I said hi to Krusty. Yeah, me too, Krusty. That's all I've ever used up until the last couple years. Is Prismas. And I've really only just played with the others. I haven't really trained myself on them, because that takes time. And, yeah, to learn a new medium. And, it is different to use, an oil-based, a wax-based, mixed oil water. I mean, I think, not Holbeins, is it? Anyway, one of them is supposedly part wax, part oil. So, and again, guys, I really don't keep up with, I've heard so many different versions of, other than I know Prismas are wax, Polys are oil. Everything else, I've heard everybody say both. And people email me, it's not that, it's not. And well, just go look it up yourself, guys. I don't know. I don't really concern myself with it that much. But, you have people that'll get mad if you say the wrong, you think it's one thing and it's not. So I just tell them, I'm not an expert. I'm not a teacher. I'm doing demos here. Don't email me, people. Don't email me. We're here to just have some fun. There are all kinds of people on YouTube that do product reviews. So go watch the product reviews and then come back here and have some fun. Yeah, so I think, anyway, I said all that, but Jen, I think, really loves her. She's stuck on her Holbeins now, I think. So we're just going to do all the background. Just take a little bit of time. But, you know, it does show you how long it takes to do projects when you do them in real time. And you can always speed up the recording. Love the idea of blending to see what happens. Yeah, me too, Terry. I'm just going to see. Some may work. And you know, different colors have different properties. When I was doing the polys on, it was a color book page. I don't remember which one now. But I was trying to, you know, work with polys like I do Prismas in the soft blend. And one color just wouldn't do it for him. You know, it wasn't performing like I thought it, you know, that they should work. And so, but it was just that one color. So I think some colors may have different, you know, properties that work better with others. And I don't know. I'm just going to play. We'll just, you know, see what happens. And I can get in pretty tight here with the angle brush. But some of these, like in the spokes there, I should just get out a smaller brush so I'm not having to be so careful there. I can just get in there tight with the round brush. So you can see it's just pretty much doing everything with one coat. Covering up nice. And then I'll do around the clouds, I'll do some feathering out, some white feathering out. Now I will say this on the pencils though, to me there's just nothing like the white Prisma. I mean, I've played with all the other white pencils, and Lumis are pretty good too, but maybe it's just I know how to use the white. I mean, I just know how to use the Prismas so well that the vibrancy of the coverage and the vibrancy of the Prisma white, it's just like nothing really beats that. You know what I mean, Vern? Okay, I'll be careful not to. Right there on the edge. Backgrounds with craft paint's the best thing ever happened. I know. It's so, it makes it takes so little time, relatively speaking. You know, you don't have to color this all in a flat color with the pencil, you know. And it also, you just get so much more done. Not that there's anything wrong with taking weeks if you want on one color book page. But I just like the effect I can get with acrylic paint base coating, because you can do so many things on top of it. But make sure you get the matte. I haven't said that in a while. Make sure you get matte acrylic paint. Don't get gloss, or, I mean, you can do gloss and shiny and metallic paints, but your pencils are not going to go over it. So just be aware, if you paint a background that has satin or gloss in it, acrylic, your color pencils are just not going to do the same, if anything, on top of those paints. So you want to have flat matte. And it doesn't say matte on it, I don't think. Maybe the new ones do. That's the old one. The new, I don't think they say matte. Yeah, here's the new one. No, see, it doesn't say matte. So if it doesn't say satin or gloss, then, you know, you can pretty much assume that it's going to be matte. And that's what you want. Okay, good to see you too, Susan. I'm glad you're having fun traveling. I didn't hear where you're traveling. Have you been posting pictures of where you've been traveling on Facebook or somewhere, so we can share in your adventures? I don't think I've seen any recently. But then you know how Facebook is. You have to go hunt people up if you don't follow them comment every day. Then you have to hunt people down. It's not a sequential feed. So, okay. I guess she already left before. A little smear there. So if you have any questions or want to tell what y'all are coloring, if you're coloring, what are you coloring in? And then hopefully maybe we can get to an abandoned place book. We have lots of projects. We like to do so many things. So many projects, so little time. Oops, sorry. Out of camera there. So let's see what everybody else is working on, if anything. When I'm watching videos, I'm always working on something. Pretty much. Unless I'm sleeping and watching Gene at night. But other than that, it's during the day, if I'm here and watching someone else's video, I'm working on something. And it's usually stuff that I can't really do everything on, like portraits, stuff like that. That I don't always film those, and that depends on the privacy of the person I'm doing the piece for. I did finish Derek Dodge, if y'all saw that. I did post that everywhere. And he really liked it. That's for his, that's actually going to him. Collaging at this time. No, you're collaging, Krusty? Okay. I need to really do more, figuring out how to move all my finished art journals, separate them from ones I'm working in, because I have so many shelves of art journals, whether they're art journal, mixed media, collage, and then sketchbooks are a separate. I need to probably do that this winter. Get in here. I was really happy to get my downstairs library organized last week. And I keep this room pretty organized. I still haven't had time to look for my drawings from the Yuru avatars. They're in here in a binder somewhere, but I don't know where that binder would be. Every time I think about it, I look up on that top shelf thinking it's got to be up there, but I don't guess it's not. I don't know what I did with it. So, but most things that I use fairly frequently, I know right where they are. Azure is working on swatching. What are you swatching, Azure? What product are you swatching? G is working color pencil and pen. Been working in color pencil and pens. Elise is slow. I've already started Christmas. Oh, you started the Christmas Del Rubio Silent Night. Okay. Beth, last night I did a mixed media tie-dye look background and made a widget spinner that spins in the middle. Oh, that's pretty cool. Hello, whoever, you have to tell us who you are. Hello, yeah. You put your hello Dee Dee instead of your name in the... Oh, you got some Sheen Hans? Is that how you say it? Sheen Han watercolors, Suzanne? Yeah, Jean has some of those. Okay, so I think I'll get the littler brush now to get in some of these tighter areas. Okay, so. Okay, let's just get a small... That'll work. Awesome, Suzanne. We need to see pictures. We need to see pictures of all those. You know that, right? All right, so let me just look around and see where I need to get really close up to some things. Here, here. mostly around the little kid on the bike. May's doing a page. Oh, Friends of Nature. Don't you love that book? I love that Friends of Nature color book. I love that book. I really do. I almost picked it today instead of this book. And your White Night watercolors. Okay, Meg. Yeah, I saw you post a picture of those last week, didn't you? Was it last week? I never used those either, the White Night watercolors. Jean's your inspiration, Suzanne. Aw, I know. Jean is very inspiring. She just does awesome stuff with her watercolors lately. And she's doing her version of Nano Jomo. She's called hers No Joe Pro. Page a day. They had a 32 small set for cheap. Oh, well, good, Suzanne. Score. Hello, honey, Jill. Oh, you signed it. It's okay. Elizabeth is making painty papers. With what? What kind of painty papers are you making, Elizabeth? And Elizabeth and everybody else that from last week, Hubster's mailing out all your little partially made art cards for you to finish. I sent those out. Terry got mostly scraps. No, I sent her a couple cards too. As yours, the Ohuhu markers and Pris 80 and Prismacolor pencils 72. I finally got some stuff. The Prismas are so smooth and these markers seem very dark. Well, you know, if you pencil over the markers, that's, you know, you can do that. You made is loving not all the eyes since I have to make eyes myself. I'm not that good with eyes yet. Mountain Dreamer says Traveler's Journal Christmas gift. Terry is thanks for the scraps. Kayberg is I'm gluing down all my sweets for my No Joe Pro page. Oh, Jean made a list. Yes. If you have that, Kathy Kayberg, put that list in. Jean made a prompt list for anybody who wants to do, you know, because I guess Dawn Sokol, who usually does the Nano Jomo and lists prompts every year, did not do it this year. So Jean just said, you know, I'm going to do my own. So she did one for the group. And she posted it on her blog. Throwing paint on some scrap papers to use for collage on backgrounds. Jen is working on coloring Christmas pictures. Oh, it's already getting, I know, it's getting, you know, I don't mind now that I'm not working in retail. You know, when I worked in doing visual merchandising and we had to put up Christmas stuff the day after Halloween. And we started putting up, you know, it takes, and we would spend a month. I mean, we'd keep adding and adding and adding right up practically till Christmas doing displays. And, you know, when you work in it, you know, you go, oh my gosh, you know, so much work. And, you know, then you take it down the day after Christmas. But when I go into like Hobby Lobby or Michael's or the craft stores especially, it never bothers me to see early Christmas in craft stores or early any holiday in craft stores because you got to remember, guys, they're craft stores. If you want to make crafts based on a holiday, you have to make it way ahead of time. So it just makes sense to me to have your craft stores have Christmas stuff up now, and you know, it just makes sense because if you have to make things, you need time to make it. You know, you can't wait till 2 weeks or, you know, 3 weeks before the holiday to start making, you know, either Christmas decorations or ornaments or gifts or any of that. You can't wait till the last minute to be working on that stuff. You know, thanks, Kathy, for posting. I'll try to remember to put that. It's themusicalscrapper.blogspot.ca. That's Jean's list for her No Joe Pro 2017. Victoria's working on a Halloween quilt. Galena is working on Society of Idea right now, doing the oh, Galena, that's sweet. Doing the project we talked about earlier. Oh. So, anyway, yeah. I don't know. I kind of like seeing Christmas, or it just, I don't know, kind of gets you in the, giving spirit when you start seeing Christmas out. It does me anyway. I understand some people just don't like it early like that, but I don't mind at all. I just do not mind at all. Okay, let's see. I think we got everything pretty painted in there. Oh, here's a little spot I missed right there. Going around the leaves here. Oh, gotta go around the little ladybugs. You're gonna do your inky, messy papers, Terry? Yeah, and I get it on a lot of stores, if people, but they're trying to get you in the buying mood and all that. I get it, but especially craft stores, Joann's, Michael's, Hobby Lobby. You gotta have that stuff early if you're gonna make things or decorate. Okay, I think. Wait, this is like see-through right there. Couple little more spots. I'm trying to stay in camera here, guys. I have to keep moving the book because I'm zoomed in. Okay, that looks pretty good. All right, I can move this now because I'm not going off the edge. So there we go. We got a base coat. Make sure you post when you go out again, Terry. I love your outdoor pictures. All right, I'm going to hit this with the heat gun. Make sure everything's dry. That's all right, Janet. Oh. And again, it's just like I said, if people make things with Christmas products, you got to have them early enough. All right, so I think now, let me get a piece of cardstock to put behind here so that when I put any pencil pressure, it's not going to dent anything. Let's see here. I've got some cardstock over here. Just to kind of protect the page underneath. That's all right. You can be cantankerous if you want, Janet. Okay, now I'm going to take my white Prisma. I got my little pencil bowl, a sharpener bowl here. I just keep this little tray handy so that with some different sharpeners or whatever sharpener's handy. Oh my gosh. Janet. All right, so I think what I'm going to do, well, wait a minute. I think I will take, let's see, what blue would I like? Probably the light kind of a baby. Maybe that's too dark. Let me look at my polys. Let's go with the polys here and get a nice light blue. Is this the one I want, or is this the one I want? Yeah, this light blue. So I'm going to take the light blue here. This is the poly one, and it's sky blue. And what I want to do though is in the clouds. So just in the clouds themselves, I'm just going to put a little bit of, like where the little swirls are. I want the clouds to stay white, but where they have the little pointillism line art, I guess I can try now again to zoom in a little more. Let's refocus. See here. I need something dark here. Hang on. I'm so zoomed in. I might be too zoomed in. And let's try to, that looks pretty good. Going to work in Tenderful Enchantments as well. Oh, okay, honey Jill. All right, so now I'm going to go in here with the blue. I don't know. I can't tell, guys. Does it look fuzzy? I'm doing my best here. And just do a little bit of shading on the clouds. And then after that, I'm going to take my white and I'm going to fluff out. And the white is my Prisma. And I just kind of want to feather out the clouds. Not too far because some of the places are going to be really tight. But just gives it a little bit more personality. What do y'all think? Can y'all see okay? Just gives it a little wispiness behind them. Okay, Crusty Brush. Have a good day. I'll try to do an abandoned places something in a little while. I won't finish this here, guys. Just saying, I might just continue, make a part 2 on Wednesday. Because, you know, sometimes I'll try to do a part 2. Sometimes I just work on them off camera and finish them, but we'll see. Depends on how much stuff I got to do this week. All right, so just kind of like that. It just looks so fuzzy to me. Oh. All right, so now I'm going to take the blue again, and because I want to leave the clouds pretty much white with just a little blue shadow. Thanks, Terry. Just so they're not flat, you know. And if y'all have any projects, you know, that y'all really, I know a lot of people like the abandoned places. Oh, and I don't think I said this on the recording. You know, you hear me and Terry talk about the abandoned places or the abandoned TV show on Vice TV, Viceland TV network, whatever. Terry said that on their website they show some of the old shows. I just looked on YouTube and they don't have them on YouTube. But apparently you can go to Viceland, the network, the channel, and they have some of their, I don't know if they have all of them. Terry didn't say if they have all of them. But, and see some of those. You know, that's the one with the guy skateboarding in all these abandoned places. That's the show we're talking about. Old malls. Deserted, like the one in New Orleans where it was deserted. Six Flags from Katrina. I mean, there's all kinds of places. And they're really, really interesting. And he just meets cool people and skateboarders. Viceland.com. That's what Terry just posted in there. Thanks, Terry. He and a friend did Route 66. All right, I'm liking that a little darker, so I think I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit darker in the swirl here. And then I'll take my white, and again, just kind of feather it out a little like that. They have all of season 1. Okay. I know, that was. Terry was just saying that when they did the, now that won't be season 1, so that probably won't be on there, but when they went to the Six Flags, abandoned Six Flags. That was creepy, wasn't it? The abandoned Six Flags in New Orleans. Was is Route 66 on that season 1? I don't remember, Terry. Was Route 66 in season 1? Because that was a really an awesome one. That was an awesome episode right there. Yeah, it was almost all underwater. I know, right? Something like that with the clouds. It is season 1. Okay, yeah. If anybody likes those abandoned kind of shows, that was a good one. It was kind of sad though. I mean, it was, kind of nostalgic. All right, let me come down here on these clouds here. And I'm not doing any blending or mixing or anything. I'm just putting some blue in the clouds here. I just want them to kind of almost fade back and forth between the blue and the wispiness. Okay, good. Yeah, Terry, that's good to know. Because one was really good. And just a little bit of soft blue in there. Another color books that I want to get back out are my Imagimorphia, Animorphia, those. We haven't worked in those in like some months, right? And one of these days, I swear I'm going to finish those books. Well, I shouldn't say I swear I will, but, I try. Those 3, I would love to finish cover to cover. If there's any that I really want to finish cover to cover, it would be Animorphia, Imagimorphia, and Mythomorphia. The Kirby Roseanne ones. Ghost Mall was creepy too. Yes, that was creepy. That was episode 1. That was the very first episode, Ghost Mall. That was the very first one that I saw too. And I think that was season 1, episode 1. Where he goes to a mall that's been abandoned. I forget what city or what state it was in. Was it Michigan? I forgot. If I get a chance, guys, I'll work on this for a little while longer. I'll get those out. Imagimorphia, Mythomorphia, and Animorphia, and we'll do a little peruse through those again. Because, when I do that, when I peruse them, it gives me inspired to go back to them. So I just kind of want them to kind of fade into the background. I mean, you like that idea of Daisy Vick? Yeah, Daisy Vick, you've worked in it, right? And not too long ago. Weren't you working in it? All right, so see that line right there I'm making? It's because my paper was right there. You got to make sure your cardstock is not there because you'll make a line, a dent. Melissa, I did Mythomorphia page last night. Which page did you do, Melissa? And are you trying to complete the whole book too? Azure Moves Viceland has some other cool shows too. Yeah, they have some. They have history of tattooists, tattooers, I should say, tattooers, and they're like their little bios on, and some of them are like from back in the, way back. Some tattooers that have been around forever, and I'm not really, I don't, not all into tattoos or anything, but the art of it, the art that they do. And there was one guy who's, I guess he's probably in his 80s now, and they did a profile on him, and they went to his studio, and I think he has an assistant that kind of hangs out with him every now, I don't know. I don't think he tattoos anymore. Well, I'm pretty sure he doesn't tattoo anymore. But they looked at some of his old art, and he got out he does still draw, but he's shaky, so he really can't do tattooing. But some of his old artwork and stuff, it was really cool to see. His old journals and his old, and his paintings and stuff like that. Anything art like that I love. What color? This is sky blue Prisma. It's the Polychromo sky blue, and this is the white Prisma. Do you have plans on finishing I won't probably finish Doodlers Anonymous. I take those pages out. So I do want to work in it again. I do. That was probably one of my all-time favorite color books, Doodlers Anonymous. I've probably done, I don't know how many pages I've done. I've done quite a few pages of it, and I would like to go back and do more pages in it, but I tear those out and put them in a binder, in my 3-ring binder. So, but my Imagimorphia, Anamorphia, and all those, I don't take those pages out. For one, they're big. I'd have to put them in my, ledger book because they're so oversized. The one with the big mushroom trees and fairy, and the jackalope page. Azure says Huang's world is good too. He is so smart. I don't think I've seen that one, Azure. I don't think I've seen that. I'm not being overly, I'm just kind of, swiping in some color. I'm not, putting a couple shades. I could put maybe some pink in the clouds. That may be a nice touch, because he's like a fairy tale, and, it's hard to get right up here inside the ditch, though. Be careful so it's smooth. Maybe a little pink in the clouds would be pretty. We'll see. All right, so let's do a little blend right there. All right, so let's do some feathering. I try to not do too many two-parters anymore on color book pages because I like to keep moving around to so many different books. And if I have too many two-parters, they get separated by other color book pages, videos, and then you have to come back to them. It just doesn't flow well. So I try not to do too many of those. So if I did a two-part on this one, I'd have to do it on Wednesday. Finish it up. Or I can continue working on this up until 1 and do Abandoned Places on Wednesday. Maybe that may be better. So yeah, I'm just kind of floating, misting these out a little. And I could do this also with paint, but I'm just showing you how that the pencil goes over acrylic paint. He travels all over the world. Is that the cooking show one, Azure? I know there's one where the guy travels for foodie. He's a foodie, but I'm not sure if that's the same one. Oh, okay. But is that a documentary, Azure, or is that a like a show, or is it an actual documentary? If it's a documentary, I'd probably like that. There's a new show out that does not interest me at all about fashion, but it's like back in the day, like Chanel. It's like a, you know, like a TV show. It's not a documentary. It's not a documentary. So I don't know if the state of undress is a documentary, or is it just a show, like, you know, like those tattoo one I'm talking about. It's like a documentary on the tattoo artist and their lives and everything. So I'll have to look that up too, Azure. All right, so here you can see how we've done some. I think this needs a little bit more white right in here. Kind of connect those a little better. See, doesn't that look kind of cool? All right, back to the blue. Got a couple more clouds here. So anyway, I'll talk a little bit about when Hubster and I went to do those gravestone rubbings. Hi, Pat. Good to see you. How's the granddaughter and the cheer? Hello, Linda. Yes, the background is just craft paint. And now I'm using a Polychromos sky blue inside the cloud and a Prismacolor white on the outside here on top of the paint. And again, the reason that this works, the pencil on top of the paint, there's no shine to this. It's matte. It's not gloss and not satin. And that's how you can get this effect with pencil. Thank you, Terry. So interesting, but he does travel for food, culture, and current issues in the world. Okay, that's probably the same one I'm thinking of, that he travels for the foodie. Yeah. Azure. So anyway, and I showed it in the last episode, I did a little 30-minute show here talking about for the Society Idea Collectors, and showed the I'm just sharpening right here in my little bowl. The rubbings that we did, and talked about, you know, we had fun. It was fun to go out, and, you know, it was the first time I tried to film anything on my phone, and it was so easy to do. It was so easy to film on my iPhone and then upload it later to YouTube. Really simple. And it has HD, which, again, the first part I forgot to click HD, so it was fine. I mean, it wasn't bad, but the second part I clicked HD, and it took just an extra minute to upload, because they're short videos. So one was 6 minutes, one was 4, or something like that. Oh, learning languages. Yeah, I know, Pat, right? Okay, so that's like yeah, I like documentaries too, but there's a new show out on fashion that has like some brothers and the mom, and, you know, they're fighting over Chanel, or I don't remember. I didn't watch it. I just saw the previews, and that doesn't interest me at all, you know, to see some, you know, a show about it. But I love the documentaries on history and all that. Okay, so that's probably all the cloud there. I think that's pretty good. Pencil there. I'm having to, you know, move my book up and down, so I have to have room up there to move the book up. I Google haunted places near me, and it's very interesting to see such a big list of haunted places. Ah, yeah, see, we did that in Savannah. In Savannah, Hubster has lots of relatives in Savannah. So we didn't go this summer, this last summer, but we try to get down there, every spring or summer, at least once a year. And we usually take the grands. This it's just so hard at their age now. Boo and Cheer, Cam and a senior and working part time, so all his free time is working and uh, doing his senior year. So they just don't get away. Can't get away as much. So we didn't make it down this year, but we did. Was it 2 years ago? We went down, and me, Denise, and Cam went on one of the haunted tours, and it was pretty cool. It was kind of scary. It really was. Take you to Bonaventure. They take you all, on it's like on those trolleys, right? Those open trolleys. And then by the time we got back to the main street, there's one place they take you that was like it was like a pirate hideout. It was really good. So yeah, and I know there's all kind of places around here too that are haunted, Galena. I've seen those sites where you can go, and yeah, you just Google it. Look at Google haunted places and put your county or your city, and you'll get tons. I saw that there was I saw an article about that, but I didn't know there was a show about it, Azure. I didn't know there was a documentary about it. I saw I think there's a book. It's based on a book or some papers from her son and daughter or something like that. Yeah, but I didn't know there was a show. Okay. All right, so I think that's all I'm going to do for the clouds. See how it just has a little bit of, maybe a little bit coming out from behind here. Something like that. I think I'm going to get a pink. Let's get a pink poly. You want this one? Yeah, let's get a pink poly. And this is rose pink matter. And I'm going to put some pink in the clouds, just a little, just to give it a little bit more fairy tale effect. Like that. Is it me or just it? See, that's what I'm asking y'all. If it looks blurry, now it hasn't changed since the last time. I'm going to refocus, but I am zoomed in. So you got to realize too, guys, when I'm so zoomed in, maybe I just need to not be so zoomed in, because that does make it fuzzier. Okay, there we go. So we'll go with this distance. All right, so now I'm going to just put a little bit of pink in each of the clouds. Just a little. I think it'll give it a cool, otherworldly fairy tale look. Which, these books are just like, it's like you're illustrating a children's book. Because they're so fairy tale and childlike. I don't know. I just think they're so cool. So like that. Maybe a little more up here. Does that look better, Azure? Now that I backed out a little? See, that gives it a little cool effect, doesn't it? Hi, Karen. Anybody else popping in? I don't know, it's focused as much as it'll focus, and it's just that I'm probably so zoomed in. I mean, we don't have to be zoomed in. You can take your pick. All right, let me get my blank. All right, there you go. That's as good as it gets. Right there. That's as clear as it gets without, you know. Y'all have to remember, too, if you're watching this on YouTube, on Ustream, we do not get HD. We have high resolution, but we do not have HD. The clarity here for free Ustream is not like if I was doing it on my phone or my camera or something like that, right? So just FYI. Because I've had people go, can't you, you know, put your videos in HD and all that? No, we can't. It doesn't look fuzzy for anybody else. Maybe you just need to clean your glasses, Azure. I don't know, guys. But anyway, we do not have, we don't get that for free. So, you know, live streaming on Ustream, that's what we get. Okay, so I think that looks kind of good with the clouds. It did get a little bright though in here. When I talk about it and I'll say, oh, I need to get this clearer or whatever, then people on YouTube goes, it wasn't bad. The light looks the same. It all looks fine. So I don't know. I get contradictory. I get differing. I get differing points of view. You know, some people say one thing and then some people say completely opposite. Okay, so there we go. Now I think I want to do the little, his little hot air balloon thing here. And that is a little far now. I did go too far out. There we go. Okay, so I want to do his, these little belts, like it's like a belt. It's like they used a belt for the little elves. And let's see, let's look with some different poly browns. We got tons of poly browns, that's for sure. And I'm not even picking out all, let me just get a handful of them here. I have them loose right now. They will go in a case. Right now they're loose and I'm using them. So let's just see, I don't want the cream color. I kind of want let's go with kind of a caramel color. And let's see, what color is this? It is burnt ochre. And then I want like maybe just 2 shades darker. Here's a sienna. This burnt sienna, those 2. And then a dark, dark brown. Let's go with 3 here. This one is walnut brown. So we're going to go with those for now. And on the little buckle, I think I'll do the buckle gold. Like a gold gel pen or, yeah, let's see. Let's see if this pen's working. I think I'll do the buckle, a gold gel pen. Because it'll be shiny. Of course, it won't photograph, you know, that way unless I tilt it. But I'm going to do the buckle with a gold gel pen. I don't use gel pens that much in color booking. You know, they're especially nice for tiny, like if you're doing a Johanna Basford book or something like that. Some of those books are so tiny. It's almost like you need either gel pens or fine liners because they're so little. They have cool effects when you finish a page, but boy oh boy, tiny, tiny, tiny. And then this right here would be, you like the pink clouds, Kathy? Hi, Twinkle Toes. The book is Tenderful Enchantments by Klara Markova. And this is just Pentel Sunburst Gold. I get them in a set. It comes with a gold and a silver. You can get them at Hobby Lobby. they're not expensive at all. A couple $3. And it comes in a gold and a silver together. Okay, and then the little tail here. I think I'll do that. Maybe this little gear here. Propeller, that's what I was looking for. Do the propeller gold, this little gear here. What else? I don't know if I think I want that wing to be a color. Dollar Tree has a set of gold and silver. Are they a different, what brand are they, Suzanne? These are Pentel, and they are really good. Pentel Sunburst Metallic Medium Gel. I mean, it's, you know, it's like a ballpoint type pen. Okay. I think I'll do the little captain there. And then I think I'll do some of, I know y'all probably can't see. If I zoom in, it's fuzzy. If I don't, you can't see. These little, some little metal hooks and things right here. Maybe a couple of these might be metal. Do that. And what else? Maybe the axles on the bike. I don't know, something like that. And maybe the pedal. The little pedal might be gold or brass, whatever. That. Dollar Tree has a set of, oh, it says something. Whatever their standard brand. Oh, it's okay. Like a Dollar Tree brand? I don't know. Is there such a thing? All right. Here, this little thing right here. And maybe the goggles. Although I would like the little rivets still showing, so I'm not going to do it solid. The little rivet-like things in his goggles. So I'll just kind of color those in between. Kind of a steampunk look. We might do them green. You know, might do the glass green. Oh, you think it just looks fuzzy because of background clouds? That's a good point, Pat. Well, then let me zoom back in. Yeah, I know that does fuzz that out. Maybe right about there, something like that. Of course, my skin gets really dark. Let's see if I can brighten it up a little here. Let's see. Try my best, guys, to do, you know, have the best quality that we can possibly get. You know, it is what it is, really. All right, so let's refocus. And also, if it is really bad, guys, you might have to refresh. Where's my, here, let's get my tray. You know? All right. Like that. Okay. So now, I want these wood brown colors. I'll just put my gel pen aside. I'm going to use the polys, and I'm going to start, you know, doing the belts. I'm going to do it like leather. Is that better then, guys? Okay. So I'm going to just do some dark shading, like on the edge here, like you could see the edge. And a little bit of shadowing in the little, you know, the holes where the buckle would go. And I gotta do those little red ladybugs too. Here's the edge again. That. So thanks everybody for being here. Jot is the Dollar Tree brand. Oh, thanks Victoria. Okay, Jot. Okay. All right, and then there's like leather-like line things in the. I'm just going to go over what the line art has. And then I'll start blending it, shading it with these two. So let's just do a little dark around the edge though here. Like where it flaps under, you know, folds under. Down here. Probably right under the buckles too. A little bit of shadow. So do any of y'all have Bigfoot stories for Hubster? I mean, anything that, I'm not saying that like you got, you know, like you've seen Bigfoot like walk right up to you. I mean, I don't mean like that, but I mean, do y'all have anything that you've heard in the woods that you think, well, I wonder what that is, or anything like that? Any kind of creepy episodes that made you think, I wonder what that is? What color pencils? This one is walnut brown, and I'll go back and forth between burnt sienna and burnt ochre. Okay. And they're the polychromos. The polys. I like to hear stories people have of unusual happenings. Daisy. Up in, like, Francis, are you talking about like up in the Pacific Northwest? That's usually where they have, you know, I mean, there's, you know, ones down in the South and stuff, you know, too. But I mean, that's like the main place. The Pacific Northwest is where you usually hear, you know, because they're really heavily forested, right? Oh. I need some coffee. My coffee's ice cold now. How long have we been here? Let me check the time. An hour and 15 minutes or so. Yeah. Yeah, I have relatives there, Pat. We've camped out in Alaska, and we went out in the woods, went fishing, and I took my new, at that time, we had a new Malamute Husky. She was probably about 6 months old. I'm thinking. Hubster would know more exactly. But anyway, we adopted her from a shelter. And so Hubster, me, and my uncle, we went out salmon fishing. And so we hiked into a fishing spot at a river and camped out overnight. Hubster said he did not sleep at all. He heard things all night long. When we hiked in, I lost my sunglasses. And I went, oh my gosh, I lost my sunglasses. And, I really need my sunglasses. But anyway, I said, oh well. So anyway, we camped in, we hiked in, set up camp, tents and all that. And I had the new Husky. Of course, she loved it, loved it out there. And caught some salmon. And then the next day, I think it was the next day. I don't think we stayed too. And so as we were hiking out, Chipper was the Husky's name. Chipper came running up to me, and she had something in her mouth. And she had found my sunglasses on the way out. When we were hiking out of the woods, she had found my sunglasses and came bounding up to me and gave me my sunglasses. It was so cute. But anyway, it was kind of creepy overnight when you're out in the woods like that. I mean, like literally out in the middle of Alaska. So you've had people tell you that they've seen Bigfoot, Galena. Oh yeah, I watch everything Josh Gates, Jen. I watch everything Josh Gates, Scott Walter, you know, Giorgio. I watch all those. I love any kind of history things, or you know. They had a show on this last weekend, and I told Scott Walter about it, that he was on it, and I guess he forgot he was on it. And he usually tweets things, and so I tweeted him. I said, "You're on tonight's episode of What on Earth?" And it's one of those shows where they do satellite, like Google imagery, Google, satellite. And they find all these cool places around the world, and then they go actually on the ground and go look at what it is. And so the new episode, was it Friday night or Saturday night? Saturday night, I think it was Saturday night. And they did mounds. The mounds, like Serpent Mound in Ohio and that kind of thing. I don't know if they did the Serpent Mound on that show. But anyway, they did all kinds of mounds. And I love those kind of shows. Ancient history. Yeah, we do too, Jen. Now, one is old. One of his shows is reruns. And, then he just did that whole thing on search for extraterrestrial life. And Josh did like NASA and science, and he went to NASA, and they're looking for space particles, stuff like that. There's all kinds of, and then he went and interviewed people from way back when, I mean, even from Roswell and all that. And they found in one of the photographs that the General Ramey was holding a piece of paper that they never could decipher because they didn't have the technology to really zoom in and do close inspection of the paper. It was really interesting. Did you watch those too? And then Josh did a live show after, like a live chat, and he was on Twitter, Facebook, and on the live show. There's a Black Panther that supposedly lives near you, but you've never seen it. Well, it's probably a good thing. I wouldn't want to come up on a Black Panther. May in Norway. May goes, supposedly Santa lives near me, but I've never seen him in Norway. What was it I saw? It was, where was it? Not Norway. Oh, well, anyway, that had a welcome sign. And it said, if you're coming to, and I forgot where it was, but it was like ice cold, like Iceland, If you're coming here in November for vacation, then you're one hardy son of a gun. Come on in, or something like that. It was hilarious. We used to watch all his shows and loved when he would be on Ghost Hunters too. Yeah. I loved the old Ghost Hunters, when they were still working for Roto-Rooter and they just did ghost hunting on the side. I liked it when they did that. Okay, so now I got some dark. Now I'm going to go in with the lightest of the three, the burnt ochre, and I'm just going to kind of do the whole, uh, color in the whole, all the white. And again, I'm not polys and blending and all that. I'm just new at the polys. I'm used to my prismas, but I wanted to play with them and, do maybe a little of both. Yeah, but Josh's show, and there's a whole bunch of them like that. But I'm really looking forward to Oak Island. And Hutton did a little thing last night on Facebook. He does live chats about Oak Island, and I watched his on Facebook last night. The new Oak Island comes on Tuesday. The new season of Oak Island comes on Tuesday. And we all tweet on it, and it's fun just to, sometimes it gets snarky, and, oh, they just found more wood, stuff like that. Yeah, Jay and Grant. Yeah, Jay and Grant were on, Ghost Hunters. You liked it then better than too? Yeah. Yeah, Pat. Yeah. I'm liking them okay. I mean, I can't really, I haven't used them enough to really say. I mean, they're fine. I'm just kind of trying to layer them up here. So now I'm going to go in with the mid brown, which was the burnt sienna. I got burnt sienna, burnt ochre, and what did I say this dark brown was? Walnut brown. That's the three browns I'm using. So now I'm going to use the mid brown to kind of blend, well, layer. They don't really blend. I don't like to say blend with polys because it's not like they're blending. Like, to me, the blend of prismas is so different than the layering of polys. But and again, I'm just using the best terms I can to explain how they feel to me, you know? Just watched the last episode of Oak Island. You're ready for tomorrow. Yeah, me too, Terry. I love that show. Even if whether they find it, I mean, there's all kinds, like Hutton talks about. There's all kinds of history there. They may not find treasure, but there's all kinds of history there. If they would just concentrate on the true history of what's there, rather than trying to make it like a treasure hunting show. But it is what it is. I like all kinds of history stuff. So if it's on the History Channel, the Science Channel, Discovery, I don't sit and watch them all the time, but they come, they repeat, everything repeats 1,000 times. So you don't catch it, right off. You're going to see it on a rerun. But it's also a good way if you like those kind of shows, and get your society idea collecting notebook out and take notes. And I mean, even if you might think it's a cheesy show and there's really nothing to it, or ancient aliens, or to me, what I find informative on any of those shows is where they're located, how long ago, how long have they known about it, what are they doing about, what are the archaeologists doing to just, I like to take notes on the time, the places, who, what, when, where, why, and how. It's just, and you can also sketch while you're doing it, and you're getting ideas. You're getting ideas for art. I do anyway. I get ideas for all kinds of things when I'm watching TV. You know, but you have to make yourself do that kind of stuff. You have to make yourself sit and think while you're doing it. Okay, so adding that mid-tone, we've gone from this to this. This is the dark and the light. That's these two colors here. And then adding this color turns it to this. Now I'll probably go back again with the darkest and darken up some of the darker areas even more. You watched the last 3 episodes of, oh God, yeah, okay. Oh, so much, yeah, so much history. I know. I've always loved history, always. I've loved reading it, studying it. I love biographies of historical figures. I just, archaeology. places, mysteries, all that. Love all that. Yeah, you like the culture part of it, Azure? So any kind of discoveries, I've read all kinds of things about, you know, early explorers, early, travelers back when, and there's still places to, explore, but, when it was really hard to get to places. One of the books is called I Married Adventure. And she married, I think he was a photographer. Was he a photographer? And he was an explorer, photographer. Anyway, she went with him to like some, places in Africa back in 19 oh whatever, you know. Yeah, I know, Pat, really. Because it's the thing, even if the shows, if you don't agree with their archaeological point of view or stuff like that, it makes you aware of these places that you probably wouldn't have been aware of if, they didn't have shows on it. Because, you only can read, unless you're in that field, you're not going to read every book, every publication, every, you're just not going to, you don't have the time unless you're in that field to do nothing but research, you know. So it just gives you nice overviews. And then you can find places that interest you more to research and explore more. Yes, I know, exactly, Azure. All right, so just kind of going back in here and kind of, leaving light areas around the holes there just to give it look like a little more depth or whatever. Okay, so there's that. Now I'm going to go in here with the dark chocolate brown. Was it chocolate brown? Walnut brown. And sharpen. They don't get dull very quick. Polys stay, they hold their sharpness pretty well. But when you want a nice sharp point, I mean, I use these like, look, I barely used any, but you can see you need a point. You gotta stick with the point. And so what I want to do is get in some real dark areas, real, a little bit more depth. Can y'all see that? Yeah, there's documentaries on YouTube too. Yeah, I know. There's just, and usually you can find good ones through, you'll watch something and you go look at it, look for more information on it. And I always love to go look for videos anyway. Then you can find more information and more links. That's true of anything. It's like Pinterest. You go to Pinterest, you never leave. I use these little metal ones, or this one here, the little what is it, what is it, something, I don't know, this one. M&R, but I like the comb one, the little wood, it has metal blades, but it's a little comb. I like that one. I have every sharpener around here. And then I also have my, I have my Derwent one here, this one. I don't really like to use that one so much on the show because it's loud. And people complain, oh, that's so loud. That sharpener's so loud. Warn us before you use it. Oh, yeah, So I'm not going to do warnings on my, I just use the little handheld ones. So there, so that gave it a little bit more depth with the darker, darker along the edge there, and then around the little holes, I just wanted to make it look a little more It's almost starting to look like a rivet, but that's okay. Yeah, see, I don't like those. I don't like those, Daisy. I like history and stuff like that, exploring. I mean, I like a tattoo history guy or something like that, but I don't like the prison and that just does not interest me at all. That's just me. That's just me. Yeah. Now I like stuff like World War II, like The Great Escape and Where Eagles Dare and stuff like that. I like those kind of movies, but documentaries on prison and stuff does not interest me one iota. Yeah, I don't go to Pinterest very much either. You're just there forever. If I have to pick, I have to be, pick places I can go and hang out and or look at things or do. I mean, if I'm looking for something really specific and to draw some research, an image to look at, a sloth or whatever. If I can't find it on Google Images, something I want, then I'll go on Pinterest and look for, some research and anything. But I can pretty much find everything on, Google Images. So I just don't have time. There's just not enough time. And Pinterest is a time sucker. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying, it's a time sucker. Yeah, so yeah, everybody has their favorites. Nothing wrong with it. Just, everybody has their preferences of what they like to either go look research on or what they watch. That's why there's so many thousands of shows and because everybody has different taste. Okay, so I'm liking that. I'm liking that belt. Does it look like leather? What do y'all think? How long have we been here? Let me see the time. 11. Okay. Mm. Oh, my coffee's ice cold. All right, let me just do a little bit more on this, and I think we will do part 2 on Wednesday. That way we can do a little bit of abandoned places too, because people requested those. All right, so let me go ahead and get a nice red here. Nice red. Let's see what this one is. Dark red. Dark red. And I just want to do these little ladybugs here. I think they're little, the little inside of the wings. I think they're like a tan color, but I think I'm going to do them like green or something. So I'm going to get the dark red right next to their body like that. And then a lighter red. Almost an orangey red. Let's go with kind of doing with this. That's too pink, I think. Yeah. There's so many shades of nice. Okay, here we go. Yeah, scarlet red. Scarlet red to me is almost like an orange. So I'm going to do the little wings. See, can y'all see that? So that looks really good. Thanks, Kenny. Just kind of do a little bit of blend, smoothing out. I'm liking that. And the bicycle, I think I'm going to do the bicycle red too. So let me go in with the scarlet color. And I'm just going to put a light coat of the orangey red down. Then we'll shade with the dark red. We'll use the same colors I used in the ladybug. I mean, there's not a lot to color. It's tiny. Oh, I probably should have done with the gold. Let's do the little headlamp there. Probably would be nice to do a little light coming out of there too. Even though it's like day. And I think I'll do the wheels. wheels red because I want it more colorful. And then we'll do the tires. I don't know if I just want to go with just plain gray tires or do we want to make them colors? Because, you know, we can do it whatever we want because we're the boss of our color book. Thanks, Matt. The little pedal there would be black probably. We'll see. We can do it. The seat, I'm going to do the seat red too. I don't want as much red in it because I want it to look like a red bike, you know. Does anybody ever, do y'all remember your favorite bike you ever had? Did you have a favorite bike? Did you have a bike growing up? Do you ever have a favorite? Still planning to mix up the, well, I kind of forgot about it actually. Terry said, you know, I'm still going to plan to mix the poly and the Prismas, but I kind of forgot. I just started picking up polys. Okay, now I'm going to go with the dark red. Same thing we did in the ladybug, and it was like on the handles. There's not a lot of real estate here, you know, on these little tiny bits. The belt probably would have been the best place to try the two brands together because it's big enough. You know, maybe here, maybe on the, I'm going to shade each one of these. I'm not sure what fabric that's supposed to be, but I'm going to kind of want to shade around each section on its own, like quilted look. Terry had a red Schwinn girls bike, special order in the 60s. Karen didn't have a bike. Linda, yours was your first motorcycle? Did you have a bike when you were a kid? I had one of those spider bikes, you know, with the big handlebars. I found a picture of one that was similar, and I put it on one of my old art journals. Now, where? Let's see. Where is it? Here. Yeah. I found this picture. This is from, I made this particular journal out of an old toy catalog, not catalog, but a history of toys. I had one of these bikes right here with the banana seat. That was my favorite bike. I don't remember what color it was though. That's weird. I can remember the bike, I don't remember the color. I have to ask my sister. She'd probably remember. Pat said an old cruiser that my dad got from the impound and cleaned up and repainted blue. He had to put blocks on the pedal because it was so short. Oh, Pat, how cute. Azure had a green sparkly 10-speed Schwinn. And it got stolen. Aww. Kenny had one from Sears. Melissa got a pink bike when I was in first grade, and my big brother backed over it with his car. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Terry thinks her bike came from Western Auto. Beth said I had a hand-me-down bike with a brand new bright green banana seat, and so proud of it. Ronnie Sue had a yellow Schwinn with a flowered banana seat. Yeah, see, these are the banana seats here. You can't really see it very well here, but Galena said she had a purple. Of course you had a purple bike, Galena. Galena Purpleina. She had a purple bike that she rode till it fell apart. I was 9 years old when I learned how to ride a bike. It had tassels and everything. Aww. Yours was, see, I don't remember the color of mine. I don't remember the color. But anyway, and see, look, this is how to do a wheelie. I'll show you this journal that we played in. I'll show you this here in a minute, maybe. So many things to talk. And I still wanted to get out the Imagimorphias and all those. Because those I do, I mean, I'm not going to color in them today, but I wanted to kind of like do a flip again of them or show them again, because when I show them, it reminds me to get back into them. Those books I would love to finish one of these days. Imagomorphia, Anamorphia, and Mythomorphia. Those three. Do a little seat underneath here. So yeah, you can see the polys are nice. They're nice, vibrant pigments. I really like them. I just have to get used to layering more than soft blending, and that's just the best way I can describe it. But for color books like this, you know, other than like this, there was a lot of, you know, trying to layer up here. But this kind of stuff right here, these little bits like this, there's not really a lot of shading and blending on these tiny little bits. You know what I mean, Vern? Let's do the little basket top here, red, and then the basket can be wheat colored, you know. So something like that. But I think that looks pretty cute so far. What do y'all think? Daisy said hers was a hand-me-down from her sister, and it was from Western Auto. Azure, I bought a hot pink beach cruiser I used to ride every morning to the beach before work, and you missed that bike. Oh, as an adult, Azure, yeah. A three-wheelie bike, yeah, I know, right? I know, I've seen those. You know, I know myself. I wouldn't use it, you know. I just know. I mean, I think it'd be so cool to have, you know, one of those cool adult type bikes now. But I know I wouldn't just get out and use it. It'd sit in my garage, and I'd be up here arting all day. And my bike would be calling me, "You're not riding me." Okay, so let me back out here. I'm going to go ahead and there we go. So you can see how tiny we've been working, right? So I think I'm going to stop on the color book for today. Maybe we can zoom in one. So that's how far we got. The little ladybugs, the leather belt, the little bike, the metal parts, and the sky and the clouds. So, and again, this is from Tenderful Enchantments. So let me just real quick do the show a little peruse again. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Hang on. My color books are about to go on the floor. Here we go. Don't fall over there, baby. All right, so I think the first one was, what was the first one? Imagomorphia, I think that was the first one, then Anamorphia, and then the newest one was Mythomorphia. And he said he wasn't going to do any more color books, and then I heard somewhere that he might. So I don't know. I think he gets a lot of requests. But I'm going to just do a quick little peruse of these, and I've got to go get something to drink, and then maybe we'll do a little something in Abandoned Places. We'll get back to the Tenderful Enchantment on Wednesday. How about that? A golf cart would be fun too. Yeah, live in one of those communities. Yeah, move to Florida. Asher Muse. I could see Eileen. Eileen, do you have a golf cart? I could so see Eileen and her mom in Florida with a golf cart around their community. I don't know that she does, but I can so see it. All right, so I think, let's see, am I pretty much, yeah, I think I can show it there. Oh, wait, before I do that, let me just show you, well, no, I'll do this, and then I'll quickly show you this little journal that's like partially, it's a deconstructed book that I turned into a journal. These are those rings that are like metal that have a little screw that you make the circles with. 7 Gypsies, I think, made these. And so I turned a book, I deconstructed a book on the history of, what was it, the toy company, what was this? Whammo. This is a book on Whammo, the history of Whammo. And I turned it into an art journal, play journal. You're in Florida, Azure. You don't have a golf cart? Yes, Janet does. Janet has a golf cart around her community. But she's not in Florida. Yeah. Not that that matters, but yeah. Okay, so Anamorphia. Oh, Imagimorph. We're going to start with Imagimorph. Am I too close? I might be. I might need to back out one. There we go. Just so we can see the whole thing. All right. So I'm just going to flip. And again, how I work in these is, in at least two of them, I went through and did a lot of painting of the backgrounds with acrylic paint. So all the backgrounds are all done with acrylic paint, and then other things like clouds and whatever around them. So a lot of my pages have just the background. And because I went through and I figured, this is how my mind was working on these. I figured, not this one, well, maybe two of them I did. I don't know. Anyway, I figured if I did all the backgrounds, then I'd go back and do all the detail. A bike race? Yeah, there's a lot of bike races around the country. But they're not the kind of bikes we're talking about, Azure. Those adult bikes where you just cruise. Anyway, so I got the background like here done, but I don't have all the little details done. But I know that if I do big areas like this, then I will go back and more likely do the little details if I have a lot of the big areas done. So I'm just going to kind of flip through. Like this is all acrylic paint, right? And then some of this is, well, that's acrylic paint too. Probably the bulk of this is going to have acrylic paint and then shading with Prismas. Okay, and I do have some stickies on the ones I need to finish the whole book, but specifically the ones that I have tabs on. Oh, you found some on Kirby's Facebook page? I always believe that art should be shared and enjoyed by everyone. It makes the world more beautiful. And today I decided to continue in contributing to make this world extra beautiful by creating more books. I signed a new book deal today. This was a tough decision since including it in my current work schedule is almost impossible, but the numerous messages, emails, and requests from the fans about a new book are the biggest motivation. It will be published worldwide early or mid 2018. Thank you for the support and the inspiration. Thanks, Jamie. So again, this is just a black painted, and then I did, this is a wash. When I say a wash, I mean watered down. Just all I mean when I say a wash of acrylic paint is watered down. And you just water it down enough so you still see the, you still see the lines, right? Because if you just use that full strength, it would cover it all up. So this is a wash of blue, and then here's where I started going in with pencil. See? And I go from page to page in these books. So it doesn't bother me to work a little on one page, go work on another. I don't mind doing that. Here's some washes. I got just some washes here, and then some, black paint there. So they're all in different stages of completion. Now these are done. I'm not going to color in the individuals here. The black background is a paint, and then I went in and colored all the little elements in this spider web, but I didn't color them in this one on purpose because I did stickle glitter on the web on both of them, and I wanted it to be left like no color on this one and color on that one. So that's all individual lines done with the stickles on top of the spider webs. So yeah. And this did, and I left that too. This one I did stickles without the under marker being dry, so it did go through a little bit. But I'll just paint it out. And here's the mech moths that every time I show these, I do bzz, 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 bzz. Because I made them to look like they were moving. And again, they're not complete, but so I'm just going to quickly flip through here so you can see, like, this half is like done right here, and this is what it looks like with just the wash. So, you know, but I do eventually want to finish all these. See, this has just got a wash on it. Nothing's been shaded here. The background is done, but nothing else. And that's true of most of these. Most of these just have washes on it. No shading done yet. These don't have anything yet. Again, just, you know, a wash on the, over that. So there's not a lot of shading in this one yet. It's just got a lot of backgrounds. This one, I know I did a tree in the background. I just drew in a tree and put some mist over it, and he'll have mist over him too, but you can't do that till you color this in. And it's just got the washes. I think it was a couple years ago, I spent a Saturday and a whole Saturday, like 4 or 5 hours, I streamed and just did washes. I just went through the whole book and put washes on everything. See, just washes. And then, so there's a little something done on almost every page, ready for me to go in and play on top of. So like this is just a wash of watered down acrylic paint. So that's Imagimorphia. Here's Anamorphia. We did stenciling on these horns as an example of what you can do with stencils in Color Book. And this one doesn't have near as much done. There was playing with some stamping. Again, washes. There, I do have a few pages done. We'll get to a couple of them here. All right, so this one's done. Okay, so my beta fish, I did one blue with orange and then orange with blue. So, and then I got my little tab there. So this one is finished with the blue background, white splatters, and white or light blue pencil in there. So this one's done. Oops. This one's done. My owls. Owls are done. This was like a fall page with fall leaves. And this one we started on. We worked a little bit on this one on a video. Not done. Again, all this is just a wash. Watered down acrylic paint. People go, what do you mean by wash? Just watered down acrylic paint. And I just water it down enough. People have asked me, well, what's the ratio of water to paint? Well, it's just enough that you can put it on there and still see through it. Bye, Terry. Okay, this one is some lizards, some iguanas, or some, I don't know what kind, but anyway. And I like to do color themes, like this is like yellow, green, and teal as the main colors. And when you do that, it makes the whole page like cohesive. And little touches of red here and there. But again, it's got acrylic paint backgrounds. Have a good day, Terry. So there's that. Just going to do a flip. The snakes aren't done. I started doing a pattern in the background. Let's see, what else do we have here? Roosters. Kimono dragon. I haven't done anything with the toucans. I really need to go in there with the black background because they'll be nice with the dark black and blue feathers. That'll be cool. This one I keep kind of as a good example of a partial wash, and to show when you do. So for instance, like this is what the wash looks like, and then here's where I started shading. So you see right here the shading, no shading, shading. You see how the depth with the pencil on top of the acrylic wash? And the same thing for, like, here's one of the tentacles, you know, the suckers right here with this is no shading. And then here's what it looks like with shading. So there's just the wash of acrylic, and then you go in here with your color pencil. See the difference? Yeah, chameleons. Thank you. Chameleons. Yeah, those were chameleons. So like here's no shading, and then shading right here and here. See? But having that base, that wash of acrylic on the, it just gets you going. It gets you started. Okay, so there's those. And then Mythomorphia is the newest one of his 3. Again, I just washed out the background. In this case, I did a wash because there's like rocks and like a rock wall on the back, so I didn't want to do a flat, you know, blue or whatever color, because there's all kinds of things going on in the background. So what I would do then is take, let's grab a poly and go in here and start like making this a rock wall. And so this is where you go in here and you start, you know, adding the detail with your pencil. And see, the polys go right over the paint just like the Prismas do. I just want to do a little thing just so you can see when you start shading. See, and then you go and do the whole background like that. Okay, let's flip. So I started shading this edge. This is what it looked like with no shading. And then here I started shading the outer edge of that. I wanted to look like you were looking down into a pool. A wash in the background. I really want to get back to this. I love this book, especially Mythomorphia. I love Mythomorphia. You know, we have so many awesome color books. Okay, this one's done. This one's partially done. I haven't decided if I want to carry over the colors from here to here or have a complete different color theme. But because this one is all done in the fairy tree, I did her all with a glow around her, but I stuck with like a mint green, orange, and pink. And then white all around, like glow all around all the little tiny fairies. And so I don't know how I want to do him. If I want him, the background's tied together. But this is one of our sample ones where we've done snow. This is our Bigfoot, our Yeti. And we did this one just to show mountains and snow caps and glitter. Where's Jen? So you can see the water, the snow, all has stickles and make it sparkle. Then the stars in the sky. But I wanted it to look like a sunset behind the mountains, and then the blue mountains being in shadow on this side. So, you know, we did enough. Like here's some of the trees we started shading, and just so that you could kind of get the idea. But again, it's not finished. Washes on this one. this one is done, and this one has at least 3 videos, and 1 video never uploaded. So I think there was a total of 4 videos, but 1 of them did not upload. But anyway, this was a lot of hours right here. My werewolf, and he's got gold. He's got gold in his fur. Let's see if I can tilt it, or you can kind of, there we go. See the gold? Gold's in his fur. But this one was many, many, many hours. This was a lot of hours. A lot of hours on the werewolf. There you can see the shimmer of the gold. And then all the bats and ravens. All that. There was a lot of, oh, soup question. Oh, you're not asking me because it's not in caps. Prisma knows better than ask me a cooking question. And then I did his, he has like bloody footprints, and I made him really creepy. I did make him, he was creepy. Okay, let's see here. And then this dragon is done. And he's all in greens. Background is paint, splattered. And what I wanted to do, this one I wanted him in green and blues, and then this is going to be a fire one. So he's going to be in oranges and reds. So the water dragon and the fire dragon. Let's see what else is in here. Okay, this one, I don't think there's no video with this one. I think I just did this one on my own. There's a lot of hours though. Paint in the background, paint, and then everything was just a wash of paint. Then I went in here and did all the detail on the dragon, the mountain, every scale here. There we go. There's the color. Every scale has. That's all, each one of those is done one by one. And then after I got finished with all of the picture, I got out my baby wipe and my acrylic paint and did the mist right over the top of everything. Gotta be brave. Gotta be brave to do that, because you're gonna smear some acrylic paint on top of your color book page. There's no erasing. Oh, so yeah, I don't think maybe do I have one more in here? Yeah, that's it. So that's Mythomorphia, Anamorphia, and Imagimorphia. These are the 3 books I would love to finish completely. So, one of these days, I'd like to finish those. All right, let's see here. Let's put them all together. Okay, we're getting low on time. I was going to show you this little book here. Again, this is just a little history of Wham-O, and I deconstructed the book. I took the book apart, punched holes in it, and made a little book just to play in. This is probably, I'd say this is probably at least 5 years old. This is before I was uploading to YouTube. So this is quite old, this book here. And it's just, all it is painty stuff and just whatever I glued in. I got a picture there. I was going to make it some kind of an art journal. That's a scrapbook paper. This is a scrapbook paper. I was going to make it into something, but it didn't get much farther. It didn't get much farther than a combination junk journal and Wham-O. Here's the history of Wham-O. So what I did is I cut out some of the pictures. Some I just left. This is the intro page. There's some of the founders. Those are the 2 founders of Wham-O. I put glasses on them. That's what they look like now. I put glasses on them and just painted and played. You can play with anything, guys. So, yeah. Yeah, but look, I mean, some of the toys we played with, a lot of us, from the 50s, 60s. We talk about the toys we played with growing up. It's like I don't know. I didn't know anybody that really got hurt very badly from the toys. Oh, but anyway. And again, I used all kinds of, it's kind of like a, mishmash of, papers, cutouts, paint, part of the books, part of, yes, let's get everybody a slingshot. It's $1 post-pay. Yarn darts. Yeah, Tammy. Exactly. Yarn darts. Those cracker toys hurt when your brother threw them at you. Janet, I know, right? So anyway, I just different things. Like there's another slingshot. And I would just play with different things. This was 1965 Whammo. Little flying saucer. Really flies. It was a frisbee. Frisbees. Yeah, there's the frisbee right there. Big bubbles. Cat pistols. Really shoot. Safe and harmless. Yeah, look, there's darts there. Throwing daggers. Whammo toy throwing daggers. A Borneo hunting blowgun. Every kid should have one of those. Oh my gosh. Fencing swords. Anyway, so I just took tetherball. But we grew up with Whammo. A lot of us did anyway. That's why I used this book, because I thought, I recognize all these toys. Whammo was like, every kid has some kind of Whammo toy. Why not? Only 98 cents. Soap dish. I don't know what that is. Bomb fallout shelter cover. Yeah. Home and garden, products for home and garden. The stake table. You just stick it in the ground and you got a table. Go out camping. I think Grandma might have had one of those. Bowmatic. Making bows. They repurposed that not too long ago. Eileen, not Eileen, but Aileen, tacky glue Aileen and them, they used to show those Bowmatics. Oh, there's probably in here too. Silly string, string a tree, hula hoop. What else? More hula hoop. Push-o hoop. More hula hoop. You had footsie. I don't remember footsie. There's frisbee. More frisbee stuff. Pluto platter. They just call frisbees, all kinds of things. Flying saucers. Twirl-a-plate. Frisbees. See, I had good plans for this journal. It didn't get far, as you can see. I threw some paint and paper on it, but didn't really get too far in anything further. Few little doodles, but not much. Yes, as seen on TV. Yeah. Wings and Wheels. Now this is something different, but remember the Wheelo? It was like a metal thing like this and a little wheel on it. You'd flick it like this and the wheel would go up and back and up and back. It's called Wheelo. It's probably in here. Not to be confused with Wheels, Wings and Wheels. Wham-O Tank. Aquajet. Tilt-A-Whirl. Wheelie Bar. Oh, that's for your bicycle. Something special for your bike. Wham-O Bird. Water Fun. Y'all remember this? Do y'all remember you hooked it up to your hose and he, flew around the yard and smacked your brother and sister in the face? Y'all remember him? Slip and slides. Water Wiggle. There he is. Water Wiggle. See? You just hook it up to the hose and this thing flew around it flew around like crazy. This thing flew around like crazy. You didn't get too close to that. You'd get hit. Water Weenie. Monster Bubbles. More bubbles. Zappa Bubble. Monster Bubbles. What else is in here? Good times. I know, right, guys? And remember the giant, look at the giant bubble. It had a big hoop on it. You dip it in a plate this big, and you take it and run through your yard and make this big giant bubble. Back of the comic book. You order these things off the back of a Fun Farm. What was this one? Plant. Oh, you grew plants on this one. But you remember the little, the little seahorses that you could grow? Fun Gun. There's some blank pages here. Instant Fish. Yeah. You get it in the mail. You put it in water. Remember plastic streamers that went on your bike handles? Oh, yeah. See, and hi, CB, by the way. Yeah, we were talking about our bikes earlier. Do you remember your first bike, CB? That's why I pulled this book out, because I wanted to show this picture. Like, my favorite bike was like this. One of these Stingray type bikes with the banana seat. Do you remember your first bike, CB? Or your favorite? Sea Monkeys. Thank you, Azure. Sea Monkeys, yeah. Instant Fish. Air Zappers. Air Blaster. Monster Magnet. Giant Strength Monster Magnet. Oh, Willie. Do you remember the Fuzzy Willie? I never had one of these. One of my more well-to-do friends had a Willie. Don't even say it, Janet. One of those fuzzy, it's Willie. That's what it was called. I never had a Willie. Okay. Nutty Knotter. Oh, this was all about tying knots and yeah, okay. Okay, so I'm at the middle of the book right here. This is where those, see the little screws? These unscrew, and this is just a piece of wire. This is 7 Gypsies put these out. And this unscrews, and then the wire is just a flat wire, but it has 2 little screws here to make your rings, so that you can put your book, and it doesn't come apart. Like, those rings that you get to hold, we call them book rings, or, the rings you can buy to hold your embroidery and floss and all that. I know, Janet, I know you. Okay, so anyway, it's not wanting to, let me try to turn it, because it's not wanting to go over that ring there. Okay. Wham-O Fun Factory. Shrinky Dink, there's a shrink machine. And did anybody have one of those? And again, I don't know why kids would have these things, but they were little metal plates, and they'd heat up, like in some kind. It wasn't like easy bake oven. This was like, it got really hot, these metal plates, and you would put the plastic in it and it would melt, and then you'd cool them off and you peel them out, and there were bugs and flowers and different things, and there were little molds, but they were metal molds that you could put the plastic in. It would melt. You'd wait for it to melt. They were hot. I mean, you could burn yourself on those things. Creepy critters, is that what it was called, Janet? And I mean, it's like, I guess parents just saying, hey, they don't want to get burned, they won't touch the metal. You had those, yeah. I guess parents just left it to our own devices, silly string. But with all these kind of toys that we had growing up, I don't remember anybody getting hurt. I mean, you'd get smacked in the head with the hose thing or something like that, but it wasn't like anything really bad. Yeah, we're expected to be tough, yeah. Super toys. Whammo toys had great names. Let's see if I can still read this through the book. Through the paint. Some were strange, like the amazing, mystical, mad mirror. Others were short and punchy, like slapsy. Often a good adjective was paired with a good noun, and presto, instant fish, fun fountain, turbo tops. Whammo toys were magic, silly, and giant. But the superlative used to brand no less than 11 of their toys was the word super. Super stuff, super foam machine, super looper. I don't remember super looper. Super stuff was like, remember Silly Putty? You know what I loved about Silly Putty? The thing that was awesome about Silly Putty is you could flatten out your Silly Putty and put it on the comics, and it would pick up the color comics. It was really kind of cool. That was some cool stuff. That was magic right there. And then this stuff where the super plastic stuff that you'd like practically make your cheeks hurt trying to blow out that plastic. That was hard right there. That was hard to do. To make those super plastic bubbles. Yeah, that wasn't fun. That was work. Super ball, super plastic, super ball die, super golf, baseball. All these bouncing, these real hard plastic that would bounce. You'd throw it down and they would go 1,000 feet in the air. Those super bouncy balls. Uh-oh, that one's stuck together. Limbo. Chubby Checker doing limbo. What else? Earth Movers. Slapsy. And of course there was, what was that called? The... Slinky. I knew if I sang the song I'd remember it. Slinky. Go up and down and up and down and on. Slinky going up and down the stairs. Yeah. What's next? In 1982, after 34 years in business, Rich and Spud decided to sell Whammo. A company called Kransco reportedly outbid Hasbro with a bid out price of $12 million. We got an offer for the company and we decided to take it, Rich said. It was lucrative. In an article for the Boston Globe, journalist Johanna Weiss wrote, Merlin, his health declining, decided to sell his shares. Anyway, yeah, the article. But yeah, 1982, Whammo brothers sold, or the Whammo pair. I don't think they were brothers. Maybe they were. Click clacks, yeah. Power Wheels. Oh. More Frisbee. I don't remember the Snowman kit. But y'all remember Mr. Potato Head. I don't know that was Whammo, but Mr. Potato Head. Mr. Potato Head was before. That was probably Hasbro or something. It was before Whammo. Because I had Mr. Potato Head when I was like 2. Yes, our parents gave us chokeable toys. Oh, anyway, guys, I guess I should head on out. We'll head out and go get something to eat before Janet. Janet doesn't come on for an hour, but you know, then I can upload my videos and chill. Oh wait, here's something else. Oh, this was a mini book. Oh, I think we made some of these and gave them away. We made some. This was with some of that October afternoon paper, and I made some of these little journals to give away. Is this one? Or me and Carrie were making them and sending them back and forth to each other. Yeah, little journals, just handmade little, you know, foldable things. Anyway, I have that stuck in there too. So this book was made from that book, that history of Whammo. And yeah, I just put a bicycle on the front because I had one of those, and it was my favorite bike, and I could do a wheelie. But we would ride down the street with no hands, you know. You didn't know how to ride a bike unless you could ride a bike with no hands. No helmet, no knee pads. We lived. But anyway, I'm going to head on out, guys. I hope y'all kind of had fun with a little bit of coloring, a little bit of color book flips. We'll try to do, I want to try to maybe finish up this on Wednesday. We'll finish up, because, you know, it did take a while, you know, to paint the background, right? To paint it out, and then we did the clouds. So we did paint the background, did the clouds, did the little belt loops and the belt and the little bike. So we'll finish this up probably, you know, Wednesday in a half a day, you know, a couple hours. So if anybody has any questions or anything, thanks guys for being here. This, by the way, was out of Tenderful Enchantments, and we'll call it part 1. Thanks, CB. I always have fun doing the shows because it's fun to me because of the chat and hanging out with you guys. So, all right, guys, we'll see you at Janet's Monkey Island Madness in about an hour. I'm not sure. Is Jean streaming at 4 today? Has anybody heard? Is Jean awake? Jean's probably still sleeping. I don't know. I haven't seen Jean yet. And Sherry's birthday, I think, is it tomorrow, Sherry? Sherry Pink. I think Sherry's birthday's tomorrow. And I'm pretty sure. Sent you a card, Sherry. It should be there. But, yeah. Thanks, guys. All right. So we'll see you at Janet's. Bye, guys.